Hiya folks, how you doing? Welcome back to Workers and Resources Soviet Republic, because apparently I cannot stop playing this game. So today we're going to be trying another little play things in a very inefficient manner and see if it works out kind of challenge type thing. So whenever someone is new to the game and they ask for advice on city design, the number one biggest thing is make your cities walkable. Make sure your citizens can walk to the shops, to the school, to the cinema, to wherever they need to work or get services. Today we're going to try doing not that. We're going to see if we can make it so that nothing is in walking range. All of our flats will be in a little cluster together and they won't be able to reach any shops or services or any workplaces from those flats. The shops will be in a separate area and the schools and universities will be in a separate area. Yeah, we'll see. Is that a viable, possible way to play? Yeah, the setup is fairly standard. All realistic settings, apart from the starting money. I put it on easy just to take that pressure off. At the end of the episode, we'll see how much money we've spent and if we could have achieved that. We're on the desert biome because it's interesting. I've been having a look at that and it's a really interesting way to play. It does make things a bit easier because we don't need to have a heating plant. I think this challenge would be really difficult with a heating plant because they would have to build multiple heating pipes and multiple substations, which are all really expensive. The map settings are quite mild. I'll put the topography view. I'll put the hills quite shallow, increase the water from standard settings, but nowhere near as much as I would usually when playing the game because I like to have lots of water on my maps. This is quite an interesting little layout. I kind of want to build a road around this. What would you call that? A lake or a pond? I don't know. I want to build like a road around here and basically treat it like a giant roundabout, and then we can have roads coming off it. And in fact, you know what? Let's just do it rather than talking about it. Talk less, show more. So we're gonna go probably here, and probably here, and here. And here, what this will be our kind of like our kind of arterial transport. It'll be where the trucks and stuff access the customs house. It'll be where all our kind of logistics goes through, but it won't be for our buses. Our buses will go in another ring further out, and that'll connect up all our individual areas, and that road will be specifically and only for buses. So this is going to be, the desert biome makes it quite hard to see the ground. I guess that's kind of my fault as well because I put the tree cover up to maximum. I do have mods on. I've not decided how extensively we're going to use mods, but I do have them activated. But yeah, that's going to be our kind of central logistics part. Let's join it all up together so we can make it in one shot. I'll put a wee temporary construction set up as well. Yeah, this is not particularly exciting stuff. It's just our initial free construction offices. Maybe I'll cut the details out. Yeah, okay. So I guess we've decided that I'm going to be using mod vehicles extensively because I've just been doing that. Yeah, so let's start planning out. So I put these little straight bits 1, 2, 3 around there. So that's probably going to be where we're probably going to make like a little star off in those directions. Let's just start putting down roads for the bus one. So this is going to be like a through junction essentially, where the buses just essentially come through there. Maybe later on that'll even be a bridge. In fact, I think we'll do it like this, and that way later on this can be the main road, and this is where the buses can go up and over a bridge across there. But for now this is going to be the through junction, and then we want to build it like, is that too far? No, that probably here is about right. And I don't think So we're gonna go here, and we're probably gonna have like a one in the middle here. So I've been in a few, I had a few different thoughts about exactly the exact details of how I want to do this. So like the most basic one would be one area for flats, one area for all service buildings, including like education buildings. It kind of escalates in complexity from there. We could then change it for like service buildings and schools are separated. They have to be in separate areas as well, or and then we could separate it out further. Schools and universities have to be separated. Shops and culture buildings and sports stuff all needs to be separated as well. So I don't know. I think for this one we're probably going to go for like the 3 area solution. So one area for residential, one area for kind of all our service buildings that get passengers. So shops, cinemas, art galleries, hospital, and then a third area for all our education buildings, right? Schools and universities. Kindergartens will always have to go in the residential area because they don't work like the other buildings. The parents won't physically travel to the kindergarten to drop their kids off. They kind of like check if there's one in range, and if there is one, it automatically gets the kid gets like teleported to the kindergarten to get looked after. So those don't work with public transport at all. You can't send babies on a bus. And then I guess the fourth area would be industry stuff. In fact, maybe there'll be a fourth area with non-visitor built service buildings, so like our police station, our courthouse, our prison, our fire station. So no passengers go to there. They just get workers, and then they do stuff for the areas around them. The hospital's kind of a hybrid between those two, so that's probably going to be in our visitor service area. But yeah, let's modify this a bit. So I think that's going to be 4 areas we need: residential, visitor service, non-visitor service, and education. So if we chuck a bus stop in here, yeah, cool. And then, in fact, I think I want to delete this one. So initially I was thinking we'll have the residential one here and then the rest around the hands of the clock. But I think we want the residential one in the middle, just so that the bus lines can go past and back. We can have like a double effective bus line. For our workers, I think 500 workers is going to be plenty for our bus station. Yeah, cool. I like that. And then I'm going to upgrade the little slip road at the back to asphalt, so that way when it comes time to do road upgrades later on, we don't have to worry about that a little bit, because otherwise we'd not be able to do it, because that would be blocking us. And yeah, so we've got one here for one of our things. Not decided yet what thing it is, what thing goes where. Yeah, these things are actually quite far apart. Maybe a bit further apart than is entirely wise, but I think we should be good. Yeah, I'm wondering, because fire station, I think this one, because that's the kind of closest to the middle apart from the residential one, this one has to be the one that has our fire station in it. Yeah, and then this one can be the one with the hospital. So the hospital and the fire station and the police station all have a range for their vehicles, but none of the education buildings do. So the education one's going to be furthest away. The other thing I'm considering is, do we want another bus platform? Because we're going to have workers and students and passengers. I mean, we could even have 3, one for each type. But I think for now we're not. Maybe we'll leave this area clear so we can do that later on if we need to. But I think for now that's not something we want to do. Yeah, we don't want to try and get that fancy right now. Cancel some of these roads a bit. Extend this. It's gonna be a bit skew-if, but it will do the job. I don't think we're actually going to be using this bit around there for now. Like later in the game when we expand for more areas, we might have circular routes for their buses, but for now I think that's fine the way it is. The desert biome is very bright, Especially if you're looking at the water, there's like a bloom effect that I can't figure out how to turn off. So apologies if things are a bit painful on the eyes. I did try and find a way to make that not the case. What do we want to do for our strategy? So I don't think we want too many people at the start. We need to think about our scale. So 110 workers for the. I think I'm going to use these flats rather than trying to use the tiny wee ones. It means things will take longer and cost a little bit more, but that's not really a huge issue for us. So maybe 8 of these for 880 workers total, and we can start with 440 and expand from there. I'm liking the look of the width of this compared to the bus station. So if we just go one there and then flip it around and build one on this side as well. Now we can just build a footpath all the way down here, and that'll connect to something. I know we'll figure out where that goes later on, but we'll connect it to the road for now just to do that. And then, I mean, I guess one benefit of building everything in separate areas is we've got loads and loads of space in each area for what we need to build. Having things within walking range of each other within each little district is not going to be a problem at all. And we'll not worry about a kindergarten right now. We'll come back to that once we've got other stuff constructed and we're using our own workers. Oh, there's a thought. There is a thought. Let's get a bus stop like here, connect it to our ring road, and that's going to be our workers specifically for construction. And so essentially, apart from like water and stuff, that's all the buildings we're going to build in this area. This next one is going to be fire station, police station, all those things. Now let's start with the prison, because the prison I want to put the prison to be connected to the ring road, because that's where that needs food and stuff delivered. The courthouse can just, so this is all going to be on the inside of the ring. I'll put it here and then we can connect it to there, and that way none of the road stuff is connected to here, except this needs to be connected. You know what? I need to put this in. Let's put that road in, and the reason for that is this police station, well, the police station and the fire station, but this police station, we'll put it here. It needs to connect to here so that it covers all the residential buildings and the service buildings and the stuff connected to this outer road. But this connection will also let it cover stuff on this side, because you do get crimes in bus stops, and you could get crimes in the prison and the courthouse as well. In fact, I don't know if you can get crimes in the prison. It seems like crimes in the prison would be would be like self-solving. And then the fire station, I think a bigger one actually, because we're not building like, especially if there's a fire over here, it should be in the range of the building, but by the time they get there, the fire will probably have progressed quite a lot. So we want to make sure our fire station has enough staff and vehicles to fight a quite large fire. What else? I think that's the only ones. Maybe later on we might get an orphanage, and that'll go in this area, but other than that, I think that's pretty much everything that's going to happen here. These are all low priority stuff. I don't think we need any of these straight away. Well, the fire station we do, but the justice buildings, nah, low prioritise those. And then here, this is where our schools and universities go. There's literally just going to be 2 buildings, or maybe 3 to start with. We'll do it like this. In fact, you know what, I should probably finish this first. We've not done any footpaths. Oh, I've not left a node for connection there. Let me fix that. Yeah, now we can connect there. And it's not very symmetrical, but it works. It works, does the job. And then this can just connect in there. And that should be all we need. We'll come back and do the water and stuff later on. We're just going to be using technical services, so it's just purely going to be substations. Okay. I had a moment of doubt. Like, I definitely did check that there was an electrical connection on the border earlier, but I had a little moment of doubt. We're only going to go for the small headquarters, or a technical university. Headquarters are probably better. We'll build both of them eventually, but we can just chuck that there, connect up that, and then that's all that's needed for this area. and that'll just be a drop off for workers and students to go into these buildings. And then this one's the bigger, more complicated one. We want a shopping centre. We're only going to have 880 people. Maybe this one? I think we're going to expand over time, so I think having it like this is good. And the benefit of having a kind of two-tiered ring road is that we can connect this out into the ring road. In fact, probably we're going to use a loading station, but we'll build the rest of the buildings first. We're not going to build a pub. No one likes pubs. I mean, like demonstrably, some people do actually like pubs, but I don't like them, and I'm not going to put them in here. Interestingly, because we're on the desert, it doesn't get particularly cold, and because we're near a shore, I'm like, maybe we can give them a beach. That should be within range. I'll put this on. Give it a bit of a... I don't have a free bulldozer. Our one bulldozer is pretty busy. Yeah, maybe we'll come back to the beach. In fact, since we're going to start with quite a small population, let's build something else first. Yeah, basketball and volleyball court, 6 workers, 48 visitors. That'll do us for quite some time. So we'll just chuck it here, because that's a kind of nice width to fit next to our bus stop, so we can put a footpath up either side. And then later on, when we have a higher population, we can put a beach down there, because the beaches are super efficient. 5 workers and 90 visitors. Yeah, if you've got the temperature for it, I highly recommend using them. Yeah, you don't really get to use them very often if you're playing on the colder biomes, or the default biome, or the Siberian biome. Because if it can't sort you out the whole year, it essentially is almost useless for you. And then the hospital, so the hospital will build over this side. We need to have those in range of here for our the ambulances. Citizens only ever get ill when they're at home. Yeah, so having it on this side's probably the best idea. Is there anything else? I think that should be everything for visitors. Let's build a little monument in each place. I think this Taras Shevchenko monument. There we go. We'll build one of these in each of our little towns. One in front of the shop. One next to the bus station. One kind of here. And one... I don't want to put one there, because if we want to build more buildings out here, it's not going to be ideal. We'll just put one here then. And then just connect all those up. And yeah, that should be pretty good. I quite like the little 8ths as your compass directions that each of these are showing out. Maybe we can expand it out to go in like 7 directions plus the customs house. Yeah, right, what else? Water. This should be pretty easy. In fact, so I want to restrict these for buses. So let's do this. We'll do like that. In fact, actually, what's the range on this? Can we just build one next to the road there? Yeah. No, not quite. Not quite for those. For these ones, we can just build them next to the ring road. And connect it to there. For this one, we'll have to have a little bit more space, but that's fine. We can just chuck it like here, one there, one there, one here. Yeah, loads of space. And then this one's a bit further away. My ring roads aren't particularly proportional. So we'll just chuck this one like here, but then we'll still connect it down to here. That one's already connected. That was connected, but then the same again here. We're going to connect it to the road, and that way our water trucks can come from here. And then same again for sewage. Pretty much right next to the others. Cool, and easy as that. And then that should also be in range of all our, that should also let us add to that cluster to put things in range of electricity, so let's just do that as well. Just double check. Yeah. One. This is the one I'm a little less sure about. Yeah, that should be fine. Just about. Just need to remember, if we're going to build up that way, we need an alternative solution. Here. Is that it? Did I do all four? Or I missed this one, yeah. Cool. And then all we need is a medium voltage switch somewhere. Just chuck it in here. Too sharp of a turn. Oh well. There. Good enough. That didn't need to be a gravel road. That could have been a dirt road, but that's fine. And then we wanna. Do we wanna? In fact, I'm just gonna go with an underground wire. Usually, like sometimes I go and do like an overground high megawatt one to the switch, and then underground from there. But I'm just gonna go straight for this that way. There we go. And then we've got exactly 4 outlets from there, so that's perfect for our 4 things. We'll take a look at the garbage stuff in a second. That's going to be a bit more complicated. I'm not sure that we can totally eliminate garbage trucks from this ring road. Let's do names actually. One for here, one for here, one for here, and where are we? Here. And then we can just delete that one. Yeah, garbage, because we might as well do garbage since we've got all the other things. I'm thinking if we do it like here, because there's a footpath connection right the way to this inner road, if we ban everything but buses from this outer road, then it should mean that they can just drive up this footpath, potentially. Someone commented on my play along tutorial series that I was doing massive overkill on these garbage things, which is fair. Because I kind of am, but also like it's better to have too many than too little, and these things are so easy to forget and just end up with no space to put them where you need them. So I kind of gotten into the habit of just going overkill on them. This needs there's no footpath connection on that side, so I guess we're come down and around like that. Which one's that? That's a fire station. Okay, cool. I'll need to come back to the other side because I don't think that's not the right one. Yeah, I'll need to come back to the other side because we need a special solution for the hospital because it makes hazardous waste. But yeah, we just need to make sure that this is connected, and that this is connected to. Yeah, I know I started making things pretty on the grid, and then I've just essentially just given that up. And then the hospital, I want to give this a couple, just for the hospital, so that we can store hazardous waste in there. And yeah, that should be all the services. Pretty pleased with that. What I guess one last thing, we'll grab a cargo station. We'll grab the 6 one. Yeah, I prefer cargo stations over warehouses for connecting to shops and stuff. The way it works makes me better because I prefer for them to finish unloading and then immediately go for more rather than using a distribution office. I've run into problems before with the shops getting overloaded and they can't serve customers and take food from the warehouse at the same time. I prefer just to directly insert that. And if we need it to be more efficient later on, then we can build like a little warehouse here and use a distribution office to keep that filled. Then the trucks that are unloading here can just go a really short distance. I have a feeling that some of this stuff's not getting built. In fact, I know why, because I've not assigned it. The bus stops need workers, so I need to assign workers to do that. I think we've got pretty much everything we need, apart from like we'll build some technical services. I'll just chuck a free a few free dumps, so that we don't have to, just so we don't have to send trucks to the border. Cool, cool. That's really ugly, but it'll be fine. It'll be fine, and we'll figure out what we're actually going to do with our waste later on. And then we can go for a technical services. Yeah, I'm not a fan of. You might notice by how many mods I've got, but I'm not a big fan of the vanilla technical services. They're so they're just so massive for the amount of vehicles you get in them. It doesn't really make a lot of sense. We'll go for like this one, I guess here. Let's just chuck a free one down for a second, because I want to see the range. If I put that there and I crank the range right up, so, oh, it's not going to, so it does technically go all the way down and all the way back around here. So that's definitely going to be in range of all of our stuff, like up this footpath and into here. As long as we're not, as long as it doesn't have to actually drive all the way, like if it has to get to here by going by road, it's not going to be able to. But everything, as long as everything's connected by footpath, I think it should be fine. So you can go away, we don't want that free one anymore. And yeah, I think that's probably all the setup we need. We've got a distribution office for fuel for the various buildings. We've got a free gas station here. Actually, you know what we should get? We should get some bus end stations here, and one like here. Need a free excavator. Okay, there we go. No, we don't. Cool, and that'll that'll let us make sure our bus lines are very well spaced, because that's going to be pretty critical when we start transporting citizens around the place. And yeah, I think we're pretty much at the point where yeah, like what's that, 40 minutes, so 50 minutes of recording time, but I'd spent a lot of time talking at the start, but 40 minutes to set everything up, not too shabby. But yeah, we're going to be sitting watching this construct for quite some time, so I'm going to call this an episode, and we'll make this, I guess, a short series, maybe a duology or a trilogy. I'll run the game and get all this stuff constructed in the meantime. We'll come back in episode 2 and we'll actually do the setup of the bus lines and invite our citizens and start moving people around, and see if it actually works. And yeah, if it works, maybe we can think about expanding the concept and having it more granular, where there's only, like in theory, if we want to maximise the challenge, we can make it so that no buildings were in walking range of any other buildings. So maybe that'll be a future, like, more advanced challenge. But yeah, we should see how this one goes first. Let's not get too ahead of ourselves. But yeah, if that's something that sounds exciting to you, make sure to say so in the comments. It's always good to know what people want to see, as long as it's something I feel like recording, of course, because it's my channel, not yours. So yeah, that's going to be it for today. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.